frustrating. But we should be back now. Don't know why Twitch keeps doing this, but it does. Anyway, we are back. We are streaming again. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I think it's just Twitch being Twitch. But anyway, right now the next job is to just screw down the top plate onto these little standoffs. Now these have got Kaptan tape on top, and I think that's there for a reason. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to pierce each of those with the screws as we put them in place. So we're going to take the screws. USB-C has an EMP. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating. Where did we get to in chat? Let's get to a chat anyway. Was it dozens of us who buy ISO USB-C? Yeah. Anyone got a MacBook 13.7 inch? No. You ordered another case for one? Oh, dude, what are you doing? Okay, and then all the stream dying stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna break that stream dead. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. Duhok one. I don't know what those switches are, but my votes work this time. They are in stock on the website, so you can see. Let me view the results. The Duhok did win with 40 votes. Yeah. Okay, so 40 of you voted for it. Right. Let me find a screwdriver. This is a hex key, and we are going to put these into place. Just like so. I'm going to spread them around a little bit just to make sure that we're getting everything nice and neat and even. And we're just screwing through that Kaptan tape just to make sure that nothing's going to short out. Really been tempted to get the Venom PCB for the JO2. I don't think anyone's built a Hall Effect one, but you should definitely buy a Vella because they are really, really nice. I mean, look at this thing. It's beautiful. It's full of carbon fiber, and they're just about in stock. And they come with free switches if you order them before they're in stock. If you order them on pre-order, you get free switches for the same price. So, what's not to love? Oh, I've dropped the screw here. What are you doing? Where's that gone? I've just lost a screw in the most stupid way possible. Oh no, it's still there. There we go. I haven't lost it. Yeah, I have ordered more PT60s. They'll be a while before they arrive because they need to be produced and shipped over, but yeah, I have ordered more. They are not Hall Effect though. But I do want to do a Hall Effect ISO PCB that is compatible with obviously I can't make it compatible with routing stuff because it's proprietary, but I do want to make it compatible with stuff like this, and then backwards compatible for things like the JO2 and stuff. That would be something I'd like to do. So I think as far as I know, do you know what I'm putting this on. I haven't even done the stabilizers. I'm so far off base here. Let me undo this now because I need to put the stabilizers in. So as far as I know, it's only this, unless you wanted an MX PCB, in which case a PT60 JST should fit. Would a PT80 PCB work with the flyback daughter board? Would be an awesome use case for the F186 V2. You would need to check that the pinout was correct, Dynamics. I can give you the pinout for the PT80. In fact, I think it's on the product listing. But you'd need to check the pinout for the JST cable on the fly daughter board, because often the wires are crossed or need to be in a different order on different ends of the JST cable. So we just need to check that out. Right, let's get some actual stabilizers put in on this first. I'm hoping that this is a full box. It is not. Is that because the packet's here? Is that 7U? Maybe. I might have to go grab some stabilizers for you guys, but that's fine. Okay, I need to go grab a packet of stabilizers. Give me 30 seconds, guys, and I will let you look at this. Don't forget, we are doing a prize for best question as well, so if you ask a question that stumps me, you may win a prize. I'll be back in 30 seconds with some stabilizers. Have stabilizers. Right, let's get these lubricated and installed nice and quickly. This is why Fortis Rock, no stabilizers needed. Do you know it's why I tend to prefer ISO as well? ISO needs less stabilizers than NC. We are doing full backspace here with a 7U spacebar. A to site enter, and of course left shift. That's what we need housings for, so let's assemble those now. I mean, the Hall effect means you can have switches that are technically going to be smoother than standard MX switches because there is no leaf inside them that you need to accommodate for. So, you know, you like the big thing that acts as like a restriction inside MX switches is the leaf, because it adds some sort of friction to the pressing of the plunger effectively. So Hall effect will always be smoother. The switches will always be smoother. Whether they sound as good or not is different and open to interpretation, but they will always be smoother than MX switches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. My desk is going to be out right nice and early. And we're going to grab our BDZ. And we're going to lubricate the wires up first. Just going to start here. I'm just going to lubricate up these wires and a bit of BDZ. But yeah. Adjustable actuation for typing could be nice as well, I suppose. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think a lot of the issue with that is that there's still a lot of people using custom tools and firmwares for it as well, which is something that will change over time. But this isn't new. Like, you know, Routing have been doing magnetic switches for some time and Hall effect stuff for some time now. I think we've had the Black Knight switches in stock for over a year now at this point. I think we've sold like 5 packets of them because no one's wanted them. But I think Hall effect is going to become a lot more pronounced in the next year or two than it is right now. And the thing is, it's fractionally cheaper to produce as well as Hall effect stuff because there's less moving parts, the switches are less complex, and the PCB's costs are about the same. What you save in some components, you don't add much more cost on the other side. So that's why a lot of the cheaper brands are moving to Hall effect straight away. Yeah, don't forget we'll give away a prize for the best question as well today. Whoever asked the best question on the stream. Insert XKDC CD comic about standards. Oh yeah, there's no great standard, so we should create our own. Now there's another standard in the wild. Yeah, it's exactly what happens. It's like that with anything though. Like, I had a really nice email of someone the other day, and not quite about standards, but they were like, "Hi Jay, I really want to set up a keyboard shop in the UK, and I was hoping you could give me some advice on how to do that. So basically, I'm not going to read the email out or anything, but the ultimate upshot of the email is that they wanted to be put in touch with suppliers and manufacturers and understand how MOQs work and how design decisions work and made, and how to stock stuff. But they were also asking questions about leasing warehouse space and things like that. And it's like how do you answer that? How do you go back and answer that in a nice way? Still no update on mortgage stuff, I'm afraid. VRugDush, no. Being a business owner means it's a lot harder to get a mortgage, even if you're not taking an income from that business. It's because the business's finances then become tied to yours. There are ways around it. You can look at doing like direct mortgages and stuff like that, but that's effectively declaring your company's income as your own, and that becomes quite dicey in certain areas. So yeah, I think the question, Bazooka, you're waiting way over your head, is if someone says, how can I become a competitor of yours, how are you supposed to answer that? What's the right way to answer that? Tell me how to do what you do. It's an interesting question. Okay, I'm just going to lube up the slider rails now with a really thin layer. I'd like to become your competitor. Please explain how you run the business and provide me with your secrets and the context you spent years cultivating. I mean, that's pretty much what the question was, right? I just said that I often give snippets of information out on stream, and that you might want to watch here. I know some of our other competitors do watch stream, and then when I say I'm going to do something, they follow it because they've told me they do it. So just quite interesting. Sell them PT. I mean, do you know what? There is a part of me that would absolutely love to sell PT. Do the opposite of Endland keys. Yeah, even with Black Simon helping them, they didn't do too good. Oh, did they make a post on Reddit? I didn't see that they posted on Reddit. I always struggle to look at keyboard stuff on Reddit. Because I never know if my advice is welcome there or not, or like my thoughts are welcome there or not. Sometimes I do post on there, but it's few and far between. I use Reddit a lot. I've lost the lid for this. Is that? But I do find that quite often, if I do post something, it's insta downvoted because I'm a vendor and I have opinions on things in certain ways. So yeah, I try and refrain from posting on there if I can. But it's really difficult question to ask. Like, someone comes to you and because I genuinely want to help people, and then they're asking, how can I do what you do? And it's like, well, I'm not sure there's even room in the market for what PT does right now. Never mind room in the market for someone else to come and join that. I'm just going to screw these stabilizers in nice and easily. Remember, we're not going too tight with these. You just want to tighten them up just enough that they're gripping, not trying to crush the PCB or anything. But yeah, there's a lot of challenges out there right now in the keyboard world. Yeah, maybe I should have said, just buy PT. Here you go. Buy the company off me and you can have it all. I think if someone made me the right offer at the moment, I would have a hard time saying no. As much as I love keyboards and as much as I love the hobby, I do get the impression that in some places people would rather not have me around, or rather have me not around, whatever the correct grammatical way of putting that is. course, don't forget you can buy these for 150 quid. £3.50 in a Freddo. That's close, man. That's close. These are only 150 quid as well. That's all these boards are, just 150 quid. Which is kind of insane. The fact that you get switches with it, and the whole keyboard and everything else. From a purely business point of view, €8 is nothing over what you were paid for, and we'll just look at your giving share in person. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I think there's a lot of people who expect that we do more as a company and more for the community, and there's a lot of people who would absolutely love for us not to be around, or for me to certainly not be in the hobby, just because of their personal feelings and stuff. That much was made clear in a few places last summer, which is sad, but it is one of those things. Newfie, thanks for the hearts, man. I appreciate that. Left or right is a gamble. I mean, I only want left halves, right, of Twixes. That's the right side to want, isn't it? This is the Reddit post. There is not an ISO version of PCB Attack of the Alex. There is no current that I know of ISO variant of the Venom PCBs, which is what this uses. And there are very, very few examples of ISO Hall Effect PCBs. The only one that I do know of is the one that Wooting makes, which is of course their own proprietary one and not quite the same as anything else in the market. That being said, I do want to produce one this year and have one available in stock as both 60% and TKL under the PT60. It's probably not something I should talk about in public, Jehovah, but basically I was asked to stop doing something that I'd been doing for the past 8 years because someone else thought it was unfair that I was doing it. So I was told quite bluntly that I was no longer welcome to do it anymore, which was sad and upsetting at the time, but it's in the past now. It's in the past. Right. Okay, now we have our stabilizers done, and that's all looking nice and neat and even. We can pop the plate back on and get that screwed down. There we go. People surely are something. People are people, man. People, like, I don't ever judge anyone really for the things that they do, because people do things for their own reasons, and you know, I'm sure I've made decisions that, I mean, I know I've made decisions that have made people unhappy, so everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and they're entitled to their own understanding of how things are, and that's fine. I don't judge people for that. I'm sure that I've made decisions, and I know I have made decisions that people have hated and disliked, so I'm not one to throw stones, as it were. Okay. I may have misplaced a couple of other in the tray still. Merchant thing or community thing? You've been told to stop doing so many things at this point I lose track. It was a community thing. I mean, we get told to stop doing stuff as a vendor all the time. Like, the amount of cease and desists we get that are not enforceable and not relevant is insane. We got one last year or the year before for a key set we didn't even sell. For Kapawaz's Creative Studio EPBT set, we got a cease and desist for that, and we never even sold the damn thing, so it's interesting. It was Kim Kardashian asking Jade to stop making banger Instagram stories. I wish that was the truth. If that was the truth, it would be all over. I would be messaging Kim to thank her for the publicity. But that was not true. It's beautiful with the carbon. I can't quite commit to ANSI. I've started stepping away from my old Miller mods into more premium options. Yeah, I mean, this is 150 quid, and it is, for the price, it's beautiful. Carbon fiber, just carbon fiber, all of the carbon fiber. Look how beautiful it is. These lovely side panels here remind me of the Oku. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so that's the plate and the PCB assembly now assembled. Next job is to find the screws for the daughter board, which doesn't look like they're in my preview kit. I might have to shoot some out from my personal stash. Okay. But before we do that, I'm going to put the feet on this board. So this board does use little O-ring feet like this with a hole in the middle. I'm just going to stick these on around the screws. They are peelable on one side, and then they just stick down just like so. And they stick down so that you can still get to the screws to remove the carbon fiber piece if you need to. Apologies if you can hear the 3D printer in the background. Jay's toe story. I don't think anyone ever wants to see my toes. That's like I don't know. I'm going to tell you this, but I have really hairy toes, so I don't think anybody wants to see them. Right, let's because this is a pre-production unit. I don't think I have the daughter board screws in the pouch, so I'm going to see if I have some that will fit. I'm just going to try and find 2 that might fit, and see if I can get them to go in. I'm not liking that. I think that's going to be too long, but I will just test it and see if it's the right size first of all. Oh yeah, that's the right size, so I need another one like that. I wonder actually if the I have plenty of little gold screws. I wonder if these are going to be the right size. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, so I'm going to pop that in. It goes upside down, so the USB port is on the bottom. It helps the USB-C get lower. In fact, actually, I'm going to connect the cable to that first as well, just because it is so small. I'm just going to steal 2 screws from my stash to make it in there. So we're going to pop the cable into it first of all, just like so. Nice. And then we can pop that down into the gap, like so. Take that screw, pop that in, just like that. Screw that down nicely. I'm going to just grab another one of those screws so it's matching. I do have a million screws in here. And screw that diametrically opposed so we have 2 nicely screwed in slots just there. Nice. One of the most ridiculous things you've experienced in this hobby as a hobbyist and as a vendor? As a hobbyist, I think the most ridiculous things I've experienced are some of the massive delays with some projects over the years. There's been some projects that have just been so hugely delayed that I've never really understood what's gone on. And that vendors have just disappeared and fallen by the wayside for things that they should have had under their control. So yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. The biggest thing on the vendor side though is the people who cost me money for like just disappearing on me after I've bought products from them, or they've been, you know, people like Brahma or My Keyboard, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. And there we go. This is the carbon fiber piece, as you can see here, and it does use diagonal screws through here to hold it in place. Very similar to the Bion bolt movement. So it has the diagonal screws to hold it in place, which is kind of nice. You can see on the back these are 45-degree chamfers, which is where the screws come through. I'm just going to take off this front arm. But yeah, I think the biggest thing as a hobbyist would be massive delays that are just not valid for any real reason, just because people haven't wanted to do stuff for whatever reason. Often, like, people, this is going to sound really harsh in the first couple of seconds, but I don't mean it to, and you'll see why in a second. But there's been a lot of vendors that I've had conversations with who said, we didn't fulfill X and Y when we should have done because mental health prevented us from doing it. And do you know what? I get that it can sometimes be really, really, really hard to motivate yourself to deliver on something. I've been there. I've been through it with the with some of the projects that we've had, like Theseus, where we've had ongoing issues, or other projects earlier than that. You know, I've had all sorts of things where I've not wanted to do it. What was the board we did with Socialite with the Argyle? Like, Argyle was really, really like a massive brain drain. But there comes a time where if you've taken people's money and you owe them that, you have to either get someone to do it for you and get past it, or you have to get past it yourself. And you can't just not keep doing something because you don't want to face it. Sometimes you have to. If you've taken the adult decision to run your own business, you have to take the adult decision to get past those kind of things sometimes. And that can be really, really hard. So yeah. Stuff like that's always book in my mind. Like, I kind of get it on a personal level. I understand why some people struggle to deliver on projects. But at the same time, it's often for me a case of, well, you just need to get it done, and then it's done. So yeah. I can't tell you the exact numbers. We have sold a few of these dynamics. We haven't sold as many as I would have liked, and I think that's because we don't have them physically on hand yet. But I can tell you we've got about half of our allocation left. There's at least, I think we've got so we have no wing keyless black left. The wing keyless black have gone. That's the only one sold out. So wing keyless black is sold out. Everything else is available. So we still have wing keyless, wing key, and HHKB silver, which is this one, anodized red, and spray coated white. So yeah, we still have most of those. Right, let's get some switches in the build. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. But now we've built the board. We just need to put the switches in, and these switches are dead easy to pop in because these are Hall effect switches, so there is only the 2 pins. Come on, camera focus, and we just need to click them in. So we're just going to do exactly that. So we're just going to push down. That's it. In it goes. Just fulfilled 2 different group buys, and it made me hella anxious to look at the boxes before I shipped it out. The reason I didn't do it the same day was due to day job. Yeah, I mean, like a day or 2 is fine, but like when some people have things for a long time and they're not shipping them out, and it's because they don't have the mental capacity to look at it or handle it. My view is that they should be then getting someone in to help them, or they should be reaching out to someone for some help, or getting some support that enables them to move forwards. Mental health is absolutely something we should be looking out for, and it's fine to take a me day every now and again, but when you run a business and you have those kind of commitments to people, you kind of have to, you know, do what you said you're going to do and deliver on it. There's days when I don't want to come to the workshop. There, like, hands down, there are days when I wake up in the morning and I just do not want to come to the workshop. I get it. There's days when I think, oh, I don't want to handle that project. As I say, this happened 2 years ago with the Argyle project. Like, we had all of the parts in, and the project had gone on that long that I just did not want to face it. Oceanography was another one where we had all those problems with the turners going bankrupt, and I had to pay the bill for production twice. Like, when they finally turned up, I just did not want to look at them. I hated them so much. I didn't want to look at them. And I get that can be really hard. I understand it. I do. I've experienced it. I know what that's like. But you get to a point where you're thinking, right, there's people depending on this. You have to see past it. You have to get past it. You have to get through it. Whether that's through, like myself, I can lean on Mel to help it to happen, and Sharon to help it happen, or whether it's, you know, that you get someone in, or you force yourself to do it. Like, there's times when I had to force myself to do stuff. And it's not great, it's not easy, it's not nice, but it's necessary. So sometimes that's just how it is. How tight is a plate? It's not that tight at all. These are just clipping in straight away. There's only the 2 pins to line up to keep the switch organized correctly, so it's going in quite easily. Nice and easy to push in place. And we are building this wing keyless, so I am missing out these 2 switch points on purpose. They're going to know when to get help in some capacity on a personal or professional level. Yeah, and do you know that I know that's half the battle. I know for myself it's half the battle. Just talking to someone about the issue, and I've been there for other vendors when they've been in this position. We've had those conversations. There's been a couple of vendors that have reached out to me. You know, Apex Keyboards I think announced a couple of days that they're over in Canada that they're closing up shop, and I had a really frank chat with them maybe almost a year ago now. Where we talked about how they were feeling and how they didn't like it, and Ash Keebs as well. I had similar conversations with them about how they were feeling and how they were going to move forward with stuff. And you know, it's not an easy industry to be in right now, and there are vendors failing or closing in every continent on like a weekly basis right now. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And then, of course, Kenda Keys have rebranded. I have my own suspicions on why David has done that. But yeah, Kenda Keys are rebranding as Input Gear, I think it is. Yeah, Apex Keyboards closed down. Ash Keeps have closed down. There's a couple of Australian vendors that are in the process of looking at it that I've spoken to. And it's sad all around, but, you know, the market is what the market is. Jehovah, thank you so much for the 7 months of subs, dude. I really appreciate that.
Tasty, tasty.
I heard the DCS After School 1992 kit is coming to PT. It is, yes. I think we're going to be talking about dates this week. I think the designers have posted a couple of points, so we just need to take a look at that. Yeah. I think you need to insert the O-ring inside of the top right washer, or it won't fit into the keyboard. The O-ring inside of the top right washer. Oh, you mean the inside of the top right spindle here? Through there? Is that what you mean? What do you mean, sorry, Zasco? Stuff at the moment. I definitely picked a weird time to try and help bring things to market. I think there's absolutely the market out there, which is what we were talking about yesterday, Kenny Shiva. So yeah, we'll figure that out in the next couple of days. But I think it just how things come to the market needs to be done in a smarter, more cohesive way, and SP hold the keys to that on that side of things. So yeah, I definitely want to have that conversation. Okay. I'm a full caps lock bar homing and 7U enjoyer. I don't like full caps lock. I'm very much a step caps lock fan, but we're going to have to go with full caps lock here. Bar homing's fine. If you had to choose appearing on one of the following, which would you pick? Apprentice UK, Dancing with the Stars, or I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? That's a great question, Bazooka. I think if I had to go on any of those, I think if I was going to try and be competitive at it, I think I'd have a better chance on The Apprentice than on Dancing with the Stars or I'm a Celeb. I'm not agile enough to be on Dancing with the Stars, and I'm not scared of enough things to be or capable of acting scared enough of things to be on I'm a Celeb. So I think I'd be better on The Apprentice just through pure skill set. But if I could pick one to be on, I would probably pick I'm a Celebrity, because I think it looks really fun. Although I don't really watch the show, I think the idea of being trapped in the jungle with people doing challenges for stuff sounds better, so I'd probably go for that one. In the build guide they recommended it, you'll need to unscrew it to put the O-ring from inside. Interesting that that's needed. Have you got the link to that build guide? I do not have it open. Let me see if I can find it. Is it on Bowl's website? Why can I not find it on Bowl's website? I cannot find the build guide, but if you can send me the link to it, I will take a look. Right. Could you handle the bush duck trial eating kangaroo bits? Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Like I am fairly robust of stomach. I'm pretty sure I'd be okay with it. Yeah, I can't see the build guides, Oscar. I may be being blind, but I can't find it right now. I don't have Discord open to actually go and find it directly. Yeah, it probably does exist, but I can't find it. But yeah, we will soon see. We'll try it with and we'll try it without. Okay, so next step is to take the O-ring, and we're going to stretch the O-ring, which is in a knot, which we can undo hopefully in a second. There we go. We're going to stretch the O-ring around the case, and that's going to sit in between the switches, the PCB and the plate. So just going to tuck that in there, and then tuck that in there. I can see why it might be suggested, because it's going to bulge out a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. Thank you. Thank you. I would have had it somewhere. Let's have a look and see what they say about putting it around here. So I will share this on screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Or I would do if it would work. There we go. Right. Break off the daughterboard, break off the USB-C connector. We've done that. I did read through this the other day and I don't remember seeing this. Oh, okay, yeah. So wrap the O-ring around the top right standoff below the backspace key. Okay. So we should be able to... I think we'll be okay without that. Let's try without it and we'll see how it goes, because it does mean doing quite a bit of disassembly to get that in there. But yeah, there we go. Amen, thank you so much for 5 months of subs. I thoroughly appreciate that. But this is the board ready to now be inserted. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect the daughterboard. Just like so. And then we're going to make sure the daughterboard is pressed into, the cable is pressed into its socket. And then we're going to lower the plate and PCB assembly down. Oh, it fits just nicely, look. It fits just nicely. It says. The only place it doesn't fit is around the backspace. And I did wonder if we'd have the issue there, because of course we have the, there we go. That fits nicely actually. That fits really nicely. Look, I know it says to go around there, but it actually fits really, really nicely without doing it. The only place where it's a slight bit of an issue is here, but they have 2 cutouts in the case to account for the stabilizers pushing the O-ring out of position. The rest of it, super, super neat, super even. And again, around the stabilizers here, you can see there's the cutouts for it to come through, but it's resting nice. It's resting super nice. Okay, next job is to pop the carbon fiber accents back into place. You made it look super easy. It was super easy. It was the easiest thing in the world, was that. Oops. He says we're going to put these into place, but I did put the screw in completely innocently wrong there. Let's drop that screw in first, and then we're going to push it down, and then we'll screw that in nicely. There we go. And these do go on a 45-degree angle. In fact, I'm going to turn this around so I can see. So we're going 45 degrees. Oh no, the camera's gone. I think it might have got too hot in here for the camera, because it has got quite warm all of a sudden. We're having a day today with technology. Oh man. Let's see if the camera comes back. There it is, it's back. Nope. Oh, it didn't like that either. Is it back? There we go. It is back. We have the camera back. Camera, please. How hot is it? It's got, so it was really, really cold, but I forgot to turn the heater off, and I have just realized that I'm sweating. It's 31 degrees here right now at my desk. So Yeah. And the camera is in its small rig case, so it is quite susceptible to heat. I do need a new overhead camera at some point, an upgrade away from the Sony Alpha 6400. If anyone has any cheap suggestions for a good streaming camera, I'd be open to them. I think it needs to be reverted back. Yeah, the heaters are on both sides of the room right now, so it's 31 degrees Celsius in here right now. Yeah, I've turned the heating off now. It will cool down. Okay, so there we go. That is the board all built. Boom. Looking good. The two hook switches are really pretty, actually. You guys picked a good switch. Let's grab a cable and load up Switch Hitter and see if this works straight away. Okay, so we did have a flash there. Let's see if we have anything working. Escape, yep. These switches are so nice to press. Okay, all looking good. Okay, yeah, space, yeah. And then this should give us F keys. Boom. All working, perfect. So, nice and easy to plug in and move forward with that. Next job is to pick some keycaps, which that means it's time for you guys to help me pick some keycaps for this board. So I have prepared 3 different keycap sets for you to choose. I don't think a mod's around, so I will get a new poll ready. New poll. So I have 3 choices for you. The first choice is GMK Retro Arabic Bass Kit. The second choice is really boring, but it's GMK White on Black. And then the third choice is MT New 800. Those are your 3 choices today. And the reason why it's poor choices overall is because I was going through all of the keycap sets I'm going to sell. So yeah, for a gaming board, I'd go with PBT to not get shined straight away. Well, the poll's now live, so you guys can pick what you would like to see on the board. But those are the 3 choices that we're going to go with today. So please feel free to vote. No JOG. So I do have a set of JOG I'm keeping, but I'm only keeping 1 set of my personal set of keycaps. And the issue I have right now is because I told you earlier on that I'm going to be selling a lot of my personal keycaps. My range over here is really limited right now, and it's limited even more by the fact that a lot of those keycap sets are on keyboards. So what I actually need to do before I sell the other ones is go through every single keyboard I've got and de-keycap them so that the keycap collection is stocked and full, so we have lots of different color choices. That's going to be the plan. So we'll see how that goes. Me whose gaming board is very shined, GMK covered in paint. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Right, Attack of the Alex has a great question. It says, with the changes in products over time with Hall effect, screens and keyboards, knobs, loop switches, is there anything you've seen that you think that will become a standard that isn't already? No, if you'd have asked me 5 years ago, I would have said gasket mounts would have become the standard, and I think that they pretty much de facto have. Although, fun fact, the first gasket mount I remember was back in 2012, so 14 years ago, on some Korean-made keyboards. So that would have been my answer a few years ago. I don't think I've seen, like, Hall effect is the other big one. and magnetic type switches. I don't think there's anything else apart from electrocapacitive that is going to become more normal, and that has seen a massive rise as EC stuff in the past year or two as well, in line with the Hall effect stuff. So I think those are the big three things: gasket mounting, Hall effect, and EC. Outside of those, I haven't seen anything yet that I think will become a standard. I think knobs aren't a standard. They come and go, and some people like them and some people don't. I think layouts are varying. 75 will always be super popular. 60 and TKL will always be popular, and then everything else in between as well. I don't think there's anything else out there that I think that will become a standard. Not yet, anyway. I'd like to think that there'll be more choices in terms of board layouts going forwards, and I'd like to see a lot of the sub 60 stuff become more mainstream. So this is boards that are 40% or steno level or something like that, where you can start to learn how to use chords. I'd like to see those become a lot more popular. Now, they are quite popular in their own niches, but those niches are still really, really small. So I'd like to see that. I think the other thing I think that will happen a little bit more is we'll start to see a lot more cute keycaps. I know there's like Keep Girlies and a couple of other like groups for that cute aesthetic. I think that's going to become more and more popular. I don't think we've seen that hit the wave of its popularity yet. I think we're going to see more of that. So yeah, good question. Embracing the shine is also a way to go. It is. I like playing with knobs. 40's mentioned. I think I don't mind I have a knob for my volume just here. You can't see it, it's off the side of my desk. It's kind of like mounted underneath the desk edge, and it's got 5 buttons and a knob. And I also have the Stream Deck with 4 knobs there. I have no use for those knobs on the Stream Deck. I have nothing to map to them. So yeah, like I generally have no use for a knob. I think I'd have more use for a slider scale personally than a knob. I'd love to have, do you remember the old stereos we used to have like the little sliders for all of your EQ stuff? I'd love to have something like that built into some keyboards. Maybe like a full DAC on a keyboard would be really, really cool. I'd like to kind of see that. You could put it where the TKL cluster is. That'd be really cool. I'd love to see that with a DAC, full DAC built in, not like a small thing, like a proper full-on setup, and have like an equalizer up there, maybe with a couple of knobs as well. You could absolutely fit it into this section of a TKL up here. So you could put them here, have 3 knobs across the top, and have like 4 or 5 sliders in there. That would be really, really cool. Yeah, I mean, the only other thing that I ever wanted to see in keyboards that was like that kind of thing was a Nixie tube clock, and you know, Tom and Josh and I did that. We put a Nixie tube clock in a keyboard. So yeah. How about keyboard subscription services? Do you know, I remember joking with someone back in which keycaps have won the poll? Arabic wins the poll with 51% of the votes. That was really close. I want to see white and black. Yeah. I remember joking with someone when we first set up PT. I can't remember who it was. It might have been AKB James, or it might have been someone else. I can't remember. But effectively, the idea was that we would do like a subscription service where you could pay every single month, and then every 3 months you would get a mystery GMK set. And you wouldn't know what it was until it arrived, but you would be guaranteed it every 3 months. So you get 4 key sets per year. And then of course GMK's timescales went to crap throughout COVID, and it kind of like never had its life. But it would like, I'd love to explore that and see if you could do that with something. You could kind of guarantee it would have X kitting at a minimum. Maybe it would have more. But yeah, that's the only subscription service I can think of that I'd want to do in keyboards. Everything else just doesn't feel right. We did toy with the idea a couple of years ago about people being able to rent keyboards. And when I looked into it, like the insurance levels to do it here in the UK to like rent out a keyboard and things like that, it just didn't make it worthwhile at all, because the idea for that came from Blockbuster and other stores here in the UK where you could rent video games consoles. I remember when I was a kid, I really wanted the PS1 when it first came out in '95, and I couldn't get one, so we rented one. I saved up my pocket money for like 6 weeks and then rented one. And I had it for like 3 days and loved it. But it's just not feasible, and I don't think the market would actually want it either. And then of course you've got damages and things like that to consider and stuff, and it just becomes a nightmare to manage. So I don't think there's any good use case of subscription services and keyboards really. But it's interesting that you bring it up. Old hi-fi separates with super high quality knobs, no wobble, nice linear force to turn. Yeah, I remember back in the old days, in the really early days of the internet, so this was on news groups, I used to be part of a group where you would have those endlessly turning, super smooth knobs for like volume or whatever, and we would modify them to put like a click system into them. I think it would be so much easier now with 3D printing and things like that, but yeah, I remember doing that at the time. Demand a recount. CYL makes for an easier comparison to the boards. Yeah, true. Nearly got 800. Nearly, yeah. Hey Russ, hey man, hope you're doing well. Right, okay, let's get Arabic on here then, because that's what won the vote. I'm in conversations with my nephew to rent his Lego Italian Riviera. Yeah, I did see there was a startup company in the UK a little while ago that did do rentable Lego. You could rent Lego kits. I am going to use the red keys today because I just feel like it for a whole effect board. So we're just going to use the 2 red keys just because they're nice and visible. Yeah, you could rent Lego kits out to build and to assemble. I do remember seeing that. I don't know if anything came with the company or not, but I do remember it. Okay, I'm going to zoom right in so you can see the switches going, the keycaps going on this now. I think this keycap set's going to work really, really well. Brick Borrow, 18 weeks ago, that might have been it, you know. Yes, that is it. Yes, yes. I don't think it actually went anywhere. I don't know if they did or if they actually started to do it or whatever. I can't remember. But I do remember that it didn't go anywhere, or maybe it did. Maybe it did. It looks like it did go somewhere. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. They were active in November. They are live. Nice, nice. Well, yeah, I hope they're doing well with that. I hope that, I mean, it's not a terrible idea to do. I do love these Windows keys. Camera, please. Come on, camera. Camera, please. Focus, focus. There we go. Do love these Windows keys. Well, I'm glad for them it's working out. I had the impression that it hadn't worked out and that it had disappeared, but I'm really, really glad that it is working out for them. You guys picked a banger of a key saying. Okay. Instagram pin posts always get me. Yeah. I never really look at people's profiles on Instagram. I do use Instagram a lot, as you guys know, but I very rarely look at people's profiles. I saw enter. Did you see the HP keyboard with the PC inside, the HP Elite G1A? I don't think so. If you have a link, I can definitely take a look at it though. I do want to, I know I've mentioned this on the stream a dozen times, but I do want to do a proper custom, maybe a JL1 with a Raspberry Pi inside. That's probably the aim for this year, is if I can get a prototype of that made up at some point. I'm gonna go with the mod colored one, just because I was debating putting this one on before the alpha colored one, but I think I just prefer the mod colored one. This is GMK, yeah. This is a relatively old GMK, so quite rare as well. HP crammed an entire desktop computer into this keyboard. AMD chip into keyboard with either an attachable or attachable USB-C. It's just a shit keyboard though, that's the problem. It's just a really shit keyboard. Why would anybody want that? Like the idea of the PC, yeah, great, but why would you want those keys on that keyboard with that layout? It's 1, 2, 3, it's got a 5U spacebar. It looks awful as well. It's just a terrible layout. Okay, thank you for sharing that room. I think it could be better. I thought you were talking about the Harry Potter keyboard I've seen episodes recently. Instagram makes me laugh when it feeds me questionable content and it shows a whole list of people who follow it like it. You know who you are. Hey, I follow what I like. Questionable is in the eye of the beholder, good sir. I think you'll find that everyone that I follow is a keyboard user. Pretty sure you will find that everybody that I follow is a keyboard user. And therefore, it's valid for me to follow them. You won't find me following questions for my main. Well, maybe. Room for improvement. Classic retro Arabic red is nice. Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favourite sets of all time. Is this? It has UK ISO and bass as well, which is really nice. Thank you so much, Aliran, for lighting up
tasty
rocket ship. Thank you so much for the 42 months of subs. I thoroughly appreciate it. I really, really love these Windows keys. They're so beautiful. Super cool. You think white and black was a play? I think this looks really good. I think this looks absolutely stunning already. I'm starting to worry that I have all the keys in this set though. Okay, we do have all the keys, I think. Just missing a B. And it's there. There we go. Love a coloured Windows key. Me too. I just like the logo design of the old Windows key, so I actually prefer it when it's in just black on the beige. But yeah, it does look good. Thank you so much, everybody.
Tasty,
for
tasty.
52 months of subs. 52 months is huge. Thank you so much, buddy. I thoroughly appreciate it. But there we have it. That is the Vella from Agliston Studios. Let me zoom out just a touch so you can see a little bit better as I hold it up. This is the Vella from Agliston Studios. It's on its way to PT. If you order it today or before we get the stock in place, you will get free switches with it. You'll either get the switches I've used here or you'll get Black Knight switches selected at random by me or Mel when we come to pack them. As a thank you for waiting an extra week or two. But this is absolutely beautiful. It's got this lovely side hip design here, which I've always loved, the little hip there. Super smooth. I don't actually have any of the Hall Effect boards to hand that I can show you, I'm afraid. Carbon fiber on the base, the Vella badge there as well. And this is the Performance Edition. The Venom PCB all working super fine inside. Little screws visible through the feet, which is kind of nice little touch. Nice way of doing it. Hides the screws, but it still makes them accessible. Rear design. This little lip here, you can see, super nice detail. Hip is still slightly visible on the back as well. If I can get in the light right, you can kind of see that the hip's there as well. It's very slight on that rear edge though. It's hard to get the light to show you, but it is just there. There is this little hip. Can I get the light in a way that should? There you go. You can see it there. Look, that line there. The hip, super nice. The way the light plays on it. Let's pause the music and see how it sounds. This is the Vella with the do hook switches. Oh my god, that sounds so good. For a board that has no foams in it, and is just the PCB, the aluminium plate, the gasket mounting, and Hall effect switches, super nice, super smooth. It is a long pole switch, yes. This sounds and feels so good. Super cool way of doing the tray mount. And as I say, these will be in stock. They're 150 quid. 150 quid, and all you need to do is throw in stabilizers and keycaps. Absolute bargain. Absolute bargain. Let's have a look at the website, because like these are right now. Oh no, they're under pre-orders, not. Oh, in fact, it's on the right part. Look, 150 quid, 125 quid excluding VAT, including switches. Absolute bargain. Silver, black, red. In fact, if you look at the colors of this, that's a silver. We've got that in front of us. Look at the black though. Look at the black with the black carbon fiber, or the red with the black carbon fiber. The black in HHKB like this. That looks good. Or the red in HHKB. I might need to buy myself a second one of these. Super pretty. Looks so good. Okay. So look how good it looks in the HHKB. It's very vibrant. I mean, yeah, it's stunning. It's stunning. And here it is in the flesh. And it looks so good. Silver gets my vote, works with anything really. Yeah, I think that's why we got the silver unit, to be honest, because it does work with anything. We could have put any keycap set on it. What keycap set is that on the blackboard? Hangul, but not striker. Hold on a second, let me open the browser again. This one here, that's Zambu's purple set. Purple Nights, was it called, or something like that? It's the purple set. Yeah, what was it called? I'm sure it was Purple Nights. Yeah, GMK Purple Night, yeah. Yeah, Purple Night. No, Royal Cadet didn't have the Hangul. I'm pretty sure the only one that was in this colour with the Hangul was Purple Night. I'm like 99% certain that was the case. But you could be correct real quick. I might be misremembering, but that's my recollection. Evil Dolch looks great. Yeah. Cadet Alphas? Was it not the Hangul set? Oh, it is Cadet Alphas. Okay, I thought it was Hangul. I did look at it. I thought it was Hangul. Someone said in chat, Hangul. Yeah, okay, it's Royal Cadet then. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Hangul was on Purple Knights. Yeah, you are absolutely spot on. My apologies, real quack. You are absolutely correct. I did think it was the Hangul. Yeah, someone said it was Hangul as well. Who said it was Hangul? Hangul but not striker. Yeah, okay. On the blackboard. On the blackboard that was Hangul, not striker. Did we see a set that was Hangul on the blackboard, but not a striker? We see this on the silver board, but not on a blackboard. And that is Hangul, but that's not striker. This might be Masterpiece. Yeah, I think that might be Masterpiece. I'm not 100% certain. It's either Masterpiece or it could be. There was a GMK Hangul Alpha set in the Space Cadet Blue at some point. It could be KKB Soju. Yeah, it could be. Do we have a ton of KKB Soju I've never listed on the store? We have like 100 sets of it, and I've never listed them on the store. They're just in the workshop. I need to do that at some point. But yeah, either way, it's all beautiful, and it looks great. That looks good as well. I think Mercury would look really good. That isn't Mercury, but it would look good. Masterpiece is Katakana with no Latin. Ah, okay. Yeah, it must be Soju then. Yeah, Mercury would look good. I don't think this is Mercury, but Mercury would look really good on that silver as well. Yeah, stupidly beautiful set. Yeah, I think this would be the combo for me though. Board looks really good, HKB or Wing-Keyless. Yeah, I think most people will go for that. For Wing-Keyless or HKB. Very few people tend to buy straight 60s from us these days. From all of the boards that we've ever sold, I think in 60% format, I think something like 80% is Wing-Keyless. And then HKB over the past couple of years has tended to trend higher than Wing-Key. Yeah, it's not Mercury. It looks very similar. Instantly buy when you list those. I don't know if we've got Decimats or not. I'll have to look. But yeah, we will have Soju in stock at some point. There's quite a few other sets I need to list as well. With Christmas and New Year and potential moves coming up and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I haven't got around to that I need to do as well, including Chaos Cotton and all of that other stuff as well. So it's all coming soon. But yeah, beautiful set, beautiful keyboard. Absolutely really, really nice. Was that Protozoa stock or something else? No, all the Protozoa stock is done and listed now, apart from I've got around, by count, I've got around 1 million keycaps that are vintage DCS, sorted into bags by size, but there's around 1 million of them, literally, and they're all different sizes. So there's like 1.25U keys and 6U space bars and all the kind of rest of it. They're all DCS keycaps. They're all vintage though, and I need to sort through all of those. In fact, no, they didn't come from Protozoa. That came from when we absorbed Mech keys from Joe. So because we've done Mech keys, we did Protozoa afterwards. So yeah, so this is from Mech keys. This is 2 years ago. Now there was a guy who came to the open day who it's called Jamport. You might know him from Discord service. He did offer his services to come and help me sort through all of them. But I think it would be a couple of days worth of job minimum. So yeah. Very interested in KKB sets. Yeah, I think we've got like 8 or 9 coming in the next few months. I think we've got 3 or 4 coming in the next shipment. There's 1 or 2 here that we haven't listed yet. And then there's a load more coming that we've just paid for this past week that they've reached out and asked if we wanted to stock. So yeah, lots more coming. So yeah. Cool. Okay, so I think that's it for the stream then. I know it's quick and it's 10 o'clock, but go buy a Vella. These are so good. Super light, great travel keyboard. Comes in the carry case. Sounds fantastic. Go do a buy. It feels really nice as well. There's like just enough bounce there to make it feel really nice as well, but not too much. This is going to be on my desk for a couple of days now. I might try and take some nice pictures of this tomorrow as well. Looking forward to KKB Dolce Cadet. I think that might be arriving in January. I'll have to check. Can't wait to receive Vella. Yeah, I am slightly frustrated that we are a little bit behind everyone else on getting the Vellas, but they are on the way to us. They will be here in a couple of weeks' time, and I think they'll ship first week in February or second week at the latest. But as a thank you for everyone who does buy one from us now, they'll get free switches. When they go in stock, they'll be the same price, but without free switches. So you can buy it today and get free switches. So yeah, cool. Right. Okay, I'm going to end the stream there and head off home because I've got to be back here first thing in the morning. Please do come and watch on Discord, Instagram, where I post daily updates on what we're doing and everything else. keep an eye on what's coming forward with stock and new group buys and everything on the coming soon pages on the website. Go do a buy, go buy something, treat yourself to something nice and new for the new year, and we'll get it shipped out as soon as possible. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you again very, very soon. I am going to do a stream on Thursday afternoon where we'll be building some Lego and unboxing some new Lego sets, and I might do a stream another day this week. We'll be building a customer's keyboard as well, so watch out for that too. And then of course we'll be back next Sunday at 8 PM doing the Neo 98. So watch out for all of those things, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, guys.